Hey guys, Camper15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another episode review of ReZero Season 3. Apologies for getting this video out late. By the time I got home Wednesday, um, I wasn't tired. I was playing Sparking Zero. I'm gonna be honest. At that point in time, Sparking Zero had early release, so I paid the money to get the early access stuff. Played on Wednesday, and then I played on Thursday because I was too lazy to do that. And yeah, so you're getting it on Saturday. Yes, well, I'm recording Saturday, but I think I'm still gonna upload the video Saturday. Anyways, um, my goodness, ReZero. So episode 1 was crazy enough with how long that was. Episode 2 again continues to get even more crazier, and we're left off on a massive cliffhanger to where now we gotta go save Emilia from being freaking married to I think the Archbishop of Greed, Regulus Cornelius. That's who his name was. That's what they thank goodness they confirmed it. But absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. You know, last week we had one of the more brutal deaths. This week we still have some brutal deaths, and it's just crazy, man. So the episode starts off right where we last left off from last week, where essentially Subaru is now back. He restarted again, and again he's feeling sick to his stomach because it's been a whole year. He has not used he hasn't used he hasn't used his death ability or his return by death ability in a very long time, in a whole year. So of course he's gonna feel sick and everything. And I'm just like, oh boy. Now the others are clearly worried about him. Emilia's worried about him, and he's starting to think, he's like, okay, I need to do something about this. So there's two instances where he does. So this time what he does is he realizes that he returned by death. He ends up thinking, okay, let me actually get there early before Sirius ends up doing the weird thing and getting the people in the plaza. So he finds a way to get out of there. So he ends up going to the clock tower early, and he tries to go save the little boy. I think his name was Lisabel or whatever, the little boy. But as he's trying to free the little boy, Sirius is already there, and Sirius already started using her powers. And in a weird way, I guess it's a little bit of control manipulation, but at the same time, it's like she's making, when their eyes light up, it's like they're connecting. And she talks about like feeling love and all this connections and things like this, blah 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 stuff. And it's like connecting them to where if he feels pain, the same exact people feel pain. Like in this episode, like in this part, like Subaru started to get scared because the kid is getting scared and he's feeling that exact emotion of fear. And you just get this brutal death to where Sirius just basically hangs Subaru, and it was an absolute gruesome death. It was an absolute gruesome, like, and then she's like, she's just like saying all these things. She even licks this kid's eyeball, and Subaru can feel it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. At the same time, Subaru's getting choked out and everything, and it's just like, oh my goodness. And because because Subaru's getting choked out, the kid is getting choked out, and essentially what happens is he ends up dying because he hangs by death. That was probably one of the more gruesome deaths that Subaru's had. And honestly, legitimately, I couldn't turn away because I needed to see the person reading the subtitles, but I'm like, it was hard to watch, man. It was really hard to watch that death. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's just making me sick. It made my stomach turn just really queasy seeing that shit. Again, ReZero ain't for the faint of heart, man. If you like your gore, you're gonna get your gore. Studio White Fox is doing a phenomenal job. But because of this, Subaru restarts again. He now understands, okay, I can't go too early to try to save him because I'm gonna die. he thinks about warning everybody, but then again he thinks he's crazy. So anyways, he goes back to the plaza area, right? And you're like, all right, if he goes back there, he's gonna get freaking caught again. Anyways, what happens is he ends up finding the one guy in the first death run he went, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to shoot the flare up because to let Reinhardt know, because he's like, you know what? Let me let Reinhardt know. He'll be able to take out this Archbishop." So he tells him, "Hey, you need to use the flare to attract Reinhardt because there's gonna be an Archbishop coming." And the dude isn't really believing him or anything. But then Sirius shows up again. He sees it, and luckily the flare goes up, and that attracts Reinhardt. Now it looks like we're gonna get a whole repeat of the first death again, but luckily Reinhardt shows up in the nick of time. He touches Subaru and the other and Felt's one of other Felt's like men attendants shoulders, and it basically wipes away the effect that Sirius has over them. So this then starts the fight with Reinhardt, and I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, Reinhardt's here, things are gonna be freaking good. Whatever, things are gonna be great. We're good. All right, Reinhardt's gonna beat this person. It's gonna be game set match over. This Archbishop's gonna lose because Reinhardt is OP as heck and everything because he's like the swords master and everything. So they have their little scrapple. Subaru then again goes to the clock tower to go save the boy again. He ends up saving the boy again. But as he's coming back, it looks like Reinhardt's actually gonna finish Sirius off for good. But then you have it to where the remaining part of the crowd is like, killer, 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 killer. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, what is going on here? And Sirius is like, well, let's see. Do you have the guts to do it? Will you finish me off and end my life, essentially? And the way she was talking, like, you know, just kill me right here, right now. And she also makes the mention, like because she also makes the mention, like, there's other archbishops here, and they won't let up so easily. So go ahead and kill me. The thing is, Subaru's like, something's wrong here. And then before he lets Reinhardt know, it's a little too late. It's too little too late. He ends up getting controlled again by Sirius's, he ends up getting controlled again by Sirius's just mind warping thing. And Reinhardt kills Sirius. And I'm like, okay. But what was Subaru screaming? And then you see why. She connected herself with everybody else. And when Reinhardt chopped her head off, all of the civilians' heads got chopped off. And Subaru was being controlled. And he died again because he got controlled. And in a weird way, Reinhardt was the person that killed him. Ryan, you just see Reinhardt turn around. He's like, Subaru, and then he has this look. Just this look of disgust, man. Now, it was already explained in season 2. When Subaru dies, yes, he goes back and resets, but it's like a whole new timeline. Every time he dies, there's a branched off timeline to where, okay, that's the events of that ReZero timeline when Subaru dies, and whatever happens there, that's what happens there, and that timeline will continue to go on with those set ramifications. So you can only imagine the pain, the suffering, and probably even the mental stress that's going to be on Reinhardt's head, because not only did he kill Subaru, he killed a bunch of people in this plaza, essentially, because he killed the Archbishop. Like, that would probably break him, which is crazy enough as is. Now, hold on a quick second, everybody. Right? Sorry, I had to close my door because my mother was coming in. Anyways, that was mind-blowing. And I'm just like, oh, bro, this dude is going to be broken in that timeline. He legitimately might, like, just hang up the cape. Oh, shit, they might just, knowing the ReZero world, they might just accuse him of killing people because they did accuse of his grandfather for doing everything that happened. And that's why they've just been apart. But Man, what I love to see. It would be interesting if they ever did a spin-off show talking about the events of certain timelines where it's like Subaru dies. What are the future events and how are the characters that we know are impacted by that? We know for a fact of like anything past like season 2 or at some point, if Subaru dies, just imagine the mind breaking that, especially just imagine any of the deaths we so far have in season 3. Just imagine Emilia. Her mind would probably be broken again, and everything that she probably went in terms of development, in terms of getting strong from season 2, she'd probably mind break because Subaru dies. Because there was one part in the episode this week where she's like, "All right, Subaru, just be careful, okay?" And it goes to show you, like, okay, she loves him and she's worried about him, everything. So, anyways, he returns by death the 3rd time. And at this point, I'm watching the episode. I'm just like, dog. He can't get there early and he can't go to the church house. I'm just thinking, does he just let bygones be bygones and let those people and that stuff, just die out and then we're good? And then maybe we'll see where it goes on from there? I'm like, because it's clear, like, he can't get there early. The dude, and I was thinking, maybe he calls Reinhardt again, but he tells him in advance, hey, she can connect people. If she connects people together and you try to kill her, other people will die. That could be a thing, but then again, no one reads Zero. They'll find a way to counteract that shit within easily. It's clear that he would more than likely have to touch every single civilian, probably at the same time of trying to fight Sirius, and tell them, you guys need to evacuate. That probably is not possible for him to do, as strong as he is, and as OP as he is. Okay? So, the 3rd time, he then gets Betty to help him out with the situation. Now, he tells Emilia, hey, I just need you to stay here. Now, Emilia gets a little bit suspicious about it, but Priscilla is like, hey, because Emilia shows up later, and Priscilla was the one to tell her, hey, I think you need to go because you should be worried about him. He looks like he's not doing good. But anyways, Subaru tells Beatrice, because Beatrice is like, okay, clearly you've been seeing some stuff. There's something going on. You don't have to tell me the details and what's happened. Just let me know what's the problem. So he tells her about the fact about the Archbishop, Sirius, and everything, and the fact, like, all these things that are, that are counteractive that he can't do. And she's like, well, okay, maybe this is what he comes with the idea, maybe we can call Reinhardt. And Beatrice is just like, no, we can't do that. Because if we call Reinhardt, because of his ability and his presence, it's going to nullify any abilities that I have to do. So essentially, if we go there along with Reinhardt, I'm essentially null and void. I can't do shit to help you. So they make the plan. Okay, it's going to be Subaru and Beatrice. Now, how they were coming up, whatever. Anyways, they get there as she's doing her whole thing, right? But actually what happens is she looks like she's about to do everything she's going to do again. And then Emilia comes in, basically freezes her. And I think in this talking scene, Emilia showed up and she's like, oh, so this is what you were talking about. And she basically was, like I said, told by Priscilla, like, I think you need to go and aid him. I don't know what's going on, but clearly, you need to help him. And, now Subaru's like, come on, you can't do this. And Emilia's like, listen, I'm strong now. You can believe in me. You can trust me. I'm going to be okay. Or, so she starts firing eyes. Essentially, Sirius, breaks through the eyes. And then her whole personality was like, so this weird, like, attitude. And then next thing you know, she sees Emilia. She loses it. She goes berserk, man. She absolutely loses it. And she's saying all these rude things to Emilia. And Emilia's like, I don't know why you're saying all these rude things to me. And you just have it to where, like, I'm not going to say what she said, but, like, she was saying a bunch of stuff. Like, I think she even called Emilia, like, a bitch or something. But I'm just like, holy hell, man. This thing is getting crazy. But, you just have it to where Emilia, she's throwing hands, bro. She was throwing hands. Emilia was putting in that work, and it shows And I think people, especially just anime onlys, really forget and understand Amelia's a pretty strong character and she can hold her own. Um, and it was pretty cool to see. Pretty damn cool to see. Now, the one interesting theory that I've been seeing going around in the community for ReZero, especially in other reviews, is the fact that Sirius potentially could be Fortuna. Fortuna, because the way she talks about you. She was telling, because Sirius was telling Emilia, like, you took the one that meant so much to me, the one that I love. And we know from the Emilia flashback, it was clear that Fortuna was in love with Betelgeuse before he turned into Betelgeuse, right? And the reason why people say that Sirius looks like might be Fortuna is because the eyes are like Fortuna, and then the hair. Again, we don't know what happened. It was only presumed that she was ill back in the flashback. I think when Pandora showed up, but we never understood. So that it potentially could be, and she's wrapped around in bandages. So, or a bandage wrapped like she's a mummy. So it could probably be Fortuna, just transformed by the witch's cult, aka Pandora, like Betelgeuse was. And that would just be crazy to see, because who knows what effect that could have on Emilia if that ends up being revealed. And then next thing you know, you have it to where the flames, she's firing off flames, Emilia's fighting off her eyes, but then Emilia gets caught off guard because she's going in for an attack. And then that's when Sirius pulls out the little girl that the one boy liked that was trying to save her, pulls her out. That catches her off by surprise, and it looks like Sirius is gonna fire this huge pillar of fire at Emilia to take her down, but that doesn't work because you just have it where the other Archbishop shows up. The Archbishop of Greed shows up, Regulus Cornelius, and Subaru's watching this, and the episode ends off with him saying, "Well, it's now time I found you and everything. And it's now I'm going to have you as my 79th wife." So this man is going to marry Emilia and have him be his 79th wife. That's just great. That is just great. Wow. So just like my I guess just like in my what I will watch for Fall of Anime 2024, I did say, like, it looks like Subaru might have to save Emilia from getting forcefully married. Well, clearly that's what he has to do. So, Regulus Cornelius, I don't think that's gonna be easy because he's a super strong guy. Like, we saw him in his fight against Krush and Rem at the start of season 2, and he was giving them problems, man. And we even saw some of the shit he did in the flashback. And 2, he was also interested in getting Fortuna. And remember, within the last episode, he's like, he bumped into me and was like, "Have I seen you somewhere?" And, well, he couldn't get Fortuna. Now it looks like he's going to only get, technically in a weird way, Fortuna's daughter. And, yeah, so, that doesn't look good, and it's not good because now she's kidnapped and Subaru has got to save her. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a new checkpoint, but this is not good. This is not good. Now, this probably makes sense to why now we're going to see, all we saw in the trailers, how everybody else is going to get involved, because now Subaru's going to have to go to everybody else and be like, "Look, they took Emilia. We got to go save her." And stuff like that. And it was the archbishops too. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this is going to go. Man, great episode. Can't wait for next Wednesday. What more can I say about ReZero? Goated show, goated series. I'm just gonna be in utter shock and awe when the show is finally over with, well, not finally over with, but I don't give a crap. I think we're getting a full adaptation of this show, and it's just a masterpiece. But, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get more ReZero content or any other anime content I upload to this channel. Until then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day, night, or watching this video. Till then, guys, peace.